All
This music is
right. Happy New Year, THL. Oh man, the cams got all adjusted.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
we tried to ping you to say that,
Yeah,
but
no, I
you're like,
unhid
oh,
the
updated.
thing,
oh
but then it still just moved the cams. All right, well, that'll be interesting for a minute. We'll fix it
well,
later. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm RonMexico. Welcome to Hearthcenter. Hope you had a happy new year. We've got a lot of THL action to cover for you tonight, and we are going to start off with some intros, sharing a diamond screen right now kind of to the far left. You can see part of him. You can kind of see his hand move. There he goes. It's
He's more on my screen. I'm in my cam. Oh, there he goes.
well, it's always the carry. It is Diamond. How are you doing tonight, Diamond?
Doing great. Hope to get more screen time soon, but that's okay.
Yeah. We'll get there after the meta report, I think.
Itachi
Um,
has the most screen time. He got a
Atachi
picture and his
always.
picture.
That's right. It's good stuff. And right next to Diamond, soon to be below Diamond on the cam, but for now, sharing the Diamond screen, it is the man who actually remembers when THL still used Facebook. It's the OG. It's THLeumer. How you doing tonight, THLeumer?
I'm doing fantastic. You just burned some fantastic memories of THL content and memes that I will definitely be posting in the Discord later.
Nice. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I, of course, am your host, RonMexico, hanging out in Lemur's cam right now, and occupying the spot of not only RonMexico, but also the picture in the top right. It's Mr. Steal Your Boat. It is the GOAT himself, Itachi. How you doing, Itachi?
Yes, indeed. It is me. How's it going, man? Good to be here.
Glad to have you here. Glad you could make it. And finally, we have down at the bottom right, you may recognize him from last night. Maybe you've seen him if you've literally ever watched a THL stream. My man is everywhere. Give it up for the all time last place holder of around the saloon 2 weeks running. It is BrushyTuna. How you doing, BrushyTuna?
Listen, a record's a record. Doesn't matter what kind. I own that.
Nice. All right. And finally, for the first time on Hearthcenter, we have for you Player of the Week. We've got this updated, and this is coming in hot from last week's action, or I guess 2 weeks, as it
Last
were,
two
with the
weeks.
holiday break. Tuna, why don't you take it away for me with Legacy? Who do we see as our Player of the Week in Legacy this week?
Yeah, this week for Legacy, we got T Stew from ATL, always top tech lethal. T Stew came up big for ATL in his first THL win. He secured a sweep in a tight 15-9 series with standard THL degenerates to help deliver his team first win of the season. Look out for 2 seeds of gold. T Stew is coming for you.
Nice. All right. And next we have our Player of the Week for Hero. Lemur, tell me a little bit about our Hero Player of the Week this last week.
I absolutely will. We got Doubles from Ask HS. The hero player of the week goes to Doubles. What more do you want from your 5 seed than to beat a former champion Quaz and help deliver NPH their first regular season loss since season 12, week 9?
Wow.
Crazy, by the way. Congratulations to NPH for a run that big. But you didn't think that you were going to run into Doubles, now did you? A very impressive first win in THL, and this will be the first of very many, we're quite sure, for Doubles.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations so far to those players. And we got a few more. We got Pro, Wild, and Battlegrounds. Diamond, why don't you tell me who the Player of the Week for Pro was? You can find
Sure.
Diamond in the top left of the Diamond screen to the far left, or possibly the bottom right to the right of Tuna right now.
It's both. The brand is everywhere. Anyways, we have Cookie
He's
Monk from
22.
not really from Sugoi Black coming off the back of a 7-point week 1 loss to fellow Sugoi Red. So Sugoi Black came into week 2 with the serious need for victory. He looking for his first ever THO win, and he got it. And he had to deal with Avi, Hall of Famer, good player. Came in clutch, wins in 5 games to put his team 14-12. Look out I have a feeling that Cookie Monster is hungry for more.
Oh,
Nice.
you don't want no vegetables.
He
All
only
right.
want cookies.
Yeah.
Cookie.
I know, Itachi, you had to join us late. Do you happen to have the wild in front of you, or otherwise I can read it off for you?
I do have the wild. It is Tony Montana, who continues to show off in the Wild Series, kicking off the season with a sweep over Concerned Mom, a high legend Wild player. Patch's payback starts off the season with a close 15-12 bout with Hair Club. Tony Montana is the veteran powerhouse for Patches. He's been in THL for a long time, and he's already delivering one weekend.
Nice. And I'll close it out for us then with Battlegrounds. Our Battlegrounds player of the week is Blue Sombrero from Meat Stack. Blue Sombrero coming in huge with the top 4 in both matches, propelling him to first place. This win was essential to them completing a playoff run. Let's see if they can do it again next week. And there we have it. That is your THL Players of the Week. Or 2 weeks, given that it was that holiday. Next time you see us on this caster screen, well, you'll see. You might have your host have fixed these cameras. But for now,
Probably
we are
not.
going to probably not.
We'll
you
have
know.
to find out.
And we are going to move on over to the Hero Meta Report as we dive into Hero from last week. So as we look at this here, we have Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior as our most frequently brought lineup last week. People brought this lineup 20 times, and it dominated. 14 wins, 6 losses, 61% in game win rate as well. Wow, just really going nuts, guys. Lemur, tell me a little bit about this meta report.
Yeah, so a couple things. Again, with week 1 being pre nerf, we're going to start to see the newer version of the meta come out to play. And we see that in spades with the Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior. Most high level Hearthstone players and a lot of THL players agree that it is the strongest lineup. And we didn't really see it last week too much. And I believe it actually had a close to 50 or under 50% win rate on the last report that we saw. But this one, it came back strong, having a 70% win rate, 46 game wins, 29 game losses. Only rivaled by the least brought lineup in Hero, which was Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior, which had a 66.67% win rate, but only had a frequency of 3 and 2 wins and 1 loss. So I think that it's very apparent that we know what the 3 at least and probably 4 best classes are to bring in Hero for the future until we see some more adjustments.
Makes sense. Any other thoughts on the meta report here, guys?
Demon Hunter is clearly only being brought by those players who still either have the games under Demon Hunter or think that they can do something with the total game count of 4 with 3 wins and only 1 loss. So the people who are still bringing Demon Hunter, either they're that OTK or there's some weird losers with long hair who swear by Soul DH. But
Well said. Well said. Yeah, couldn't have seen that one coming at all. Nice.
Yep. I will say with Demon Hunter specifically, you see that its win rate is the 75% 3 win 1 loss, but in the lineup it got brought in, it went 1-4 with a 20% win rate. So the lineup itself did not win, but the Demon Hunter did pretty okay with the 3 wins 1 loss. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, last week, 27 Shaman bans, 16 Rogue bans. Demon Hunter still has a whole bunch of bans in the overall because, of course, we played week 1 of Hero before the nerfs, unlike the other series. But really, we see just Shaman is public enemy number 1, Rogue hot on its heels for, the most, I guess, dangerous class to face. And I don't see any signs of that changing anytime soon until
No.
we get some other meta changes.
Yeah, with Shaman being the position it's in Legacy, it's hard to deal with, and you'll see some bans or targets. In Hero, it's almost impossible to target the deck because of the how Hero series works with being lesser standing, and because of that, if you don't ban the deck, it has heavy sweep potential, which is why we see so many bans being targeted toward that Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Wait, are we missing Warrior on this?
We
Yes.
are missing Warrior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cutoff Warrior.
That's right. But I was just
Well,
gonna say something about that top lineup of Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, Paladin. If you go down and look at Paladin games, it has played a total of 2, and it went 0-2. So that lineup is not even being carried by Paladin. So take that with a grain of salt of Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, Paladin being the best. It's really just Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, and then a 4th deck you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
I
let me
agree.
see real quick if I can actually, because I had
I was
two
just curious on
things
how many
there
fans
for that.
Warrior got hit with.
Double checking on the Warrior one. There were 2 screenshots, so if it's here, I'll try to put it up on the screen. Oh, yep. Okay, nice. And let's update overall. So any other trends though? Like I know we're about to see Warrior and just comment on that briefly, but like outside of that, other things we're looking at here.
We can also we talked about the Demon Hunter a little bit, but the second most brought lineup is Priest instead of the Paladin. It ended up going less than 500, losing 4, winning 3s to have a 42.86% win rate. But I think that lineup is specifically brought because they think their opponent is going to be bringing the Paladin, because Rogue and Priest have a very traditionally great time into the Paladin.
Fair enough.
So
Okay, and there's
it,
Warrior
that's
updated on
very
the screen
important.
for you now too. So it is at 30 total bans on the season, only 9 last week, and his win rate not looking great last week, although overall, still pretty strong.
Yeah, people have been considering Warrior to be one of the Power 3.
Yeah.
That being Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, and I think it does deserve that title.
To be honest, those losses, those losses are probably to ban Rogue lineups where they left the Shaman up thinking they could get through, and then the Shaman just rolled through the Warrior.
Makes sense. All right, so no further things spent then on the meta report. Let's jump into the conferences themselves, and we will start off with Orange Conference, where once again,
ATL, baby.
ATL is holding strong with the lead here. I'm going to move over to Itachi here to start breaking some things down for me in the matchups this week, because I really don't want to hear Tuna brag about ATL. Itachi, tell me a little bit about what happened in ATL versus Servants of Yogg-Saron this week.
Sure thing. So, ATL took a 17-8 win over Servants of Yogg-Saron, largely in part to people not named BrushyTuna. It looks like. No, I'm joking.
I went through what? What do you mean?
Everyone except your mom kid took a win with a very similar lineup. Matty Ebbs being the only one to deviate, bringing the Hunter and pulling out the 3-1 win over Dr. Feast, which is pretty awesome. So it wasn't a very hotly contested match. It seems like everybody on Servants got some points, aside from 2-star Mako, who did fall in a sweep. But a couple points in the other direction, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But ATL did take it with a pretty strong victory.
I do have to give it to your mom kid though. He did lose to a robot, so
Yeah.
it's fair to like lose that match. Like
AI learning is evolving every day, so the fact
Exactly.
that he had to lose to a robot now means he might beat it in the future.
Nice. Yeah, get that experience in while you can.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, and then next, of course, we have a Gungan Us Among with a bounce back week here, rising up in the standings a little bit, taking a 17-11 victory over Dark Side of Cthulhu. Diamond, break this down for me.
Well, I'll let you know the team name I can never say, so I just say Agua coming up with the W, and looks like Valdez coming in as the super sub, getting in a 5-game series over Donde, and then just the big 3 of Avi and Molestar taking the rest of the games. And then Scritch lost to Durden 1-3, and then close game 5. Robocat's Darren in chat, another win. He's undefeated so far, and he's played more games than he did all of last season. You'll love to see it.
That's
Good
awesome.
job, Darren.
Way to go, Darren. Of course, everyone knows Robocat's the best. Smiley face heart.
Yeah.
All right, and let's move on over then to the purple well, before we do, actually, let's talk just a little bit about the standings here. So we've got ATL with really commanding lead here at 57 points. Servants of Yogg-Saron not too far behind at 37, and kind of leading a logjam down at the bottom. But what do we think, guys? Like, surprises so far? Tonk and Agua coming in with the most hype, and there's two teams above them right now. Orange supposedly free.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole orange free thing. When it comes to the rest of the teams in this division, obviously ATL has gotten off to such a huge start. Being 57 to the closest else being 37 is just going to put you in a fantastic position for the rest of the season. However, I have seen some chokes in my day in THL, and it is to be seen whether or not ATL can hold out with such good teams below them.
Fair enough.
I want you to know, Lemur, I had about 800 comments for that, but I'm gonna hold him back. I'm gonna say the one. You mean like a choke like last Wednesday on stream?
Last Wednesday on stream? Yeah. I
Shots
understand
Bang.
where you're coming from, but like if anyone watched that match, I think they can speak for themselves on who ended up getting the better RNG that series.
Bro,
Nice.
you had a 14-14 on turn 3 every game. Our RNG was the same.
You had the answer every game. What do you mean?
All right, and without any more bickering, we will move on to the Purple Conference here.
I ain't done yet.
Hey, good team.
So we've got for the Purple Conference, still in the lead for their conference as well. Vote of some confidence with another commanding lead. We've got 55 points to the second best team, 39, and they actually played each other this week, and this one was very close. Diamond, walk me through vote of some confidence versus fair and balanced.
We're just gonna ignore the 4 seed. Match didn't happen. Heat shock, big sweep. Good job. And then R had as well. The same as the match before in Orange. Big 3. The team comp paid off. Got the dubs. Me and Jim got our 1 points. Shout out to Sharp in our match. Some things could have gone differently. Not gonna lie, but he played really well, so he deserves that 3. And yeah, I think this conference is, I guess, same. I was gonna say
Purple
before.
free?
Purple
It's the same.
free?
It's the same records. First
Yeah,
place is 3-0, almost up by 20 points. 1-2,
I
a
guess
1-1,
we'll
a
see
1-1, and an 0-2.
how far people catch up with bye weeks as well, and
Yeah,
how
bye
much
weeks
the
will
gap
definitely make a
change.
big difference.
Well, the thing is like, so like the most points you can get in a week is what, 23? So with vote of confidence and ATL both almost have a full week's lead before they even have their first bye week.
Kind of OP.
Yeah.
And the team in second hasn't had their bye weeks in both conferences as well. So both teams are definitely crushing it so far in the first 3 weeks here.
Yeah, caster teams, fuck.
And next up, we have a pretty solid win from a team that really needed it. Tanpam Surf Slam taking a very close one over Fida Cthulhu. Tuna, tell me a little bit about this matchup here.
Hey, Deshamo first year here on Tampam Surf Slam, picking up his first week for the team over FBM2 or Reggie. JR Juggerlaw taking down a high legend juggernaut of Nails. Osmonaut falling down to Free Hong Kong or Pawn for which one you all may know. Cat could not stand the washing in the wind. Cats do not like being washed, so it makes sense there that washing in the wind takes a 3-1 there. And Chewbacca with the 3-0 over It's Me, Mike V. I would expect that match to have gone like 3-2, but I guess Shu just lined up his decks perfectly and just actually probably looks like just probably like Roger just like swept him.
Yeah, we did have a different ban that match with Mike V banning the Shaman, but Chewbacca banning the Warrior. So it looks like Chewbacca's prepared for the Shaman.
Yeah,
I'm aware what deck swept, and it's not the ones you said.
Paladin swept?
Yes.
Interesting.
That's nutty.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I never would have guessed that.
Yep.
Maybe it was a spicy new Paladin bring.
Chewbacca
Shu a god.
What's a wacky? He's playing Yes Paladin in standard. That's it.
But also, I find it a little bit interesting. We're seeing less sweeps in Hero to this point so far. Like, we kind of let off with a good amount of sweeps early, but now we're seeing a lot more closer ones. A lot of 3-1s in Tanpams versus Fida Cthulhu. 3-1s
good amount of
throughout
3-1s. Yeah.
The top one as well. Just 1, 3-2, and 1 sweep.
It is so
Even
strange.
even
to me.
Orange had a bunch of 3-1s too.
This is
So
almost never how Hero happens. Hero is almost always 3-0s or 3-2s. So to have this many 3-1s be happening in Hero Series is pretty unprecedented, I feel.
Go figure.
to me, it just sounds like there's like so this is exactly how this meta feels, right? Like there's two main decks and there's counters to those two main decks. So you win with the one main deck and then you bring all the counters to that main deck,
Mhm.
right? So I think that's what's happening with these 3-1s
I would
in
agree.
most parts.
And then sometimes you get lucky, and that's
Yeah.
probably where the sweeps come in.
Yeah.
For sure. And Dad Legend on a bye this week, still holding the middle spot in Purple Conference. So Purple is, I mean, Feed a Cthulhu is in a rough spot, and they need to start getting some wins soon. But other than that, there's a whole lot of competitors that are hanging in there to still, fight for a playoff spot. Never too early to talk playoffs, and of course, vote of some confidence, feeling good, as is ATL, and we are going to move on to the final conference for you in Hero, which is Teal. And interestingly enough, last time we did this show, we had the same exact three teams leading their conferences.
Mhm.
So nobody has dropped their top spot. Ask HS still holding strong, 53 points to lead Teal. And, of course, we're going to talk a lot about this. No Pros here lost their first match since season 12, week 9. Crazy. First regular season match, that is. They keep,
Lost
you
in the
know,
playoffs.
not being able to get that playoff victory, but still just unbelievable that this team had such a crazy long regular season winning streak and a snap by the top team in Teal here. Itachi, can you break this down for me a little bit? Ask HS versus No Pros here, 13-11. What happened?
Yeah, so no pros here, obviously a super juggernaut, and I guess Ask HS woke up and chose murder because they ended up finally dethroning the regular season MVP, the James Harden of THL, if you will.
Nice.
Yeah.
13-11, Mr. Python picking up a sweep over Agent PWE. Dr. Bomb D picking up the 3-2 over Pasca, and Dublers? I don't know what his name is. What's
Doubles.
Doubles picking up a 3-1 over Quaz. What's to be expected? Quaz is subbing in. Looks like a last minute thing may have happened. So, but yeah, 13-11, really close, contested, and I like one of the things about what's going on in this match is that they both got very minimal points, or the Ask HS got minimal points for their win, while No Pros here kind of maximized their points in the loss, aside from Agent PWE, really. So, able to keep that lead going with the 3-0 for Ask HS, and No Pros here is still pretty far in front of the pack with the 47 points that they have. So,
Yeah,
not
really
too
good
bad for
point
either
there.
team.
Yeah, like losing, but still picking up 11 points and having a 20-point lead over third place. I don't think No Pros here can be too upset about that loss, but we've got two very clear front runners in Teal right now, in Ask HS and No Pros here, and then we've got some teams trying to catch up. Lemur, I'm sure you're happy that transfer students couldn't possibly lose this week for the first time all season. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the other match that happened, Dab Bottom versus F2L Black?
Yeah, I will. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to point out the record hasn't ended for No Pros here. It's just shifted. Instead of being the only team who's been undefeated for that long in the regular season, they are now the only team who has been undefeated that long in the regular season without a substitute.
Ah,
So
touche.
there is still a record happening. We'll see if it can be broken
Records
by the
with
end of the season.
technicalities, though.
Records with
I love
technicalities are still
Asterisk.
records.
If you ignore
Yeah.
every loss I've had in THL, I'm actually undefeated.
Nice.
Exactly. There's always an asterisk.
Throw those
Anyway,
asterisks
but
up there.
Dab Bottom versus F2L Black was a slobber knocker of a match, favoring Dab Bottom this time, going 18-8. Getting some really, really heavy, good wins. Basting in the one, taking down our friend Itachi right here in a match that was on stream that I was casting for. Very, very good match. But Itachi can tell you after I'm done reviewing the match what exactly happened before the match started. Boozosaurus took down Rabobson 3-1, bringing that Priest Rogue Shaman Warrior lineup we were talking about. But it was also answered by the Priest Rogue Shaman Warrior on the other side. So it was a complete mirror. No Paladins there to be seen. Astral Frog unfortunately lost to Hockey Boys in the 3. Hockey Boys, obviously a veteran of THL, phenomenal player. Picking up the only win for F2L Black here, and then Do and Abuse took it down in the 4 and the 5. So Dab on them, huge week. They needed this to get back into big contention, especially with AskHS going to be having a bye here pretty soon, and MPH the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to spare you a little bit about talking about the F2L loss, Itachi, but since THLeumer is calling you out here, tell me a little bit about your take from F2L's side. What went wrong?
It doesn't bother me at all talking about it. I don't mind it. So in the 1 seed, me and Based, I came up with a fantastic plan against Based, and I submitted that lineup for the wrong series. And did not
Smart.
submit a lineup at all for Hero Series. So
Oh,
I
no.
ended up playing the week 1 Demon Hunter Druid Rogue Warrior, no Shaman lineup. Didn't go so well. Played some meme decks just to make myself feel a little bit better about the unwise decision to not
Nice.
check on my submissions. Playing them for series and working a whole lot will do that to you sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
In the 2, Rebobson had a really good shot against Booze, I think, in his matches, but some unfortunate pans went towards Booze's way. So the other 2 matches at the bottom that were losses, I think were kind of more lack of prep work. Didn't do enough prep really in those seeds, which as the 1, 2, and 3 seeds, myself, Rebobson, and Hockey will kind of take responsibility for that. Got to make sure we get everybody prepared and ready to go. And then we also, me personally, have to make sure I get prepared and then submit what I prepared.
Nice. Gonna do some class submission training here. It'll be good. I
Yep,
was
got a
wondering
video
about
for
the lack of shaman. I thought maybe there was some kind of sneaky thing that was going on, but good to
Absolutely
know the
not.
story.
I mean, if you saw the stream I played, you can see what I played. It was hilarious.
And no shame losing in the 4 and 5 as well. When you look at the players that they were up against, Duin and Buse in the 4 and 5 seems absolutely criminal. So Dab on him, maybe starting to pick up the right momentum at just the right time. And they've got a lot of ground to make up, but there are still going to be a good amount of teams that are able to make playoffs. So by no means are they out of it. If they keep this pace, they should be fine.
I mean, they still got MPH and they still got MPH and AskHS's bye weeks coming up. So those are going to be the weeks they need to catch up in. They have to win the weeks they have those buys. So
absolutely, good point.
I'm pretty sure as well this was revenge for last season playoffs because I think F12 Black knocked Dab on him out. So Dab.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah,
sure.
So that's my thing.
I love Itachi. Itachi goes, yes, that's correct. Pretty sure.
Anymore, but go based.
Nice. Any last things that we want to say about Hero before we move on to Battlegrounds?
F2L is making playoffs, just letting you know.
Okay.
Bold words from the guy in last place with 19 points. All right, nice.
Clip it. All right.
Yep, clip it.
Clip it.
Awesome.
Order 3. All right, then we will jump on to Battlegrounds here, and this is playoffs. So I know, Tuna, you were basically just casting like all of this and like juggling stuff on different screens. Why don't you walk me through what happened in the week that was BG's Alpha Season playoffs?
All right, so the big 2 that I want to mention is the Big Ted's first place and Diamond's first places. Both players absolutely high rolled like 3 10% wins in a row to get to top 3 and then win their lobbies. Like I mean, sometimes you can't do anything about it, but that just goes to show you that like you're never out of any lobby. And both those first places with those random 10% wins were huge for MeatStack and for the boys, allowing them to propel into high points there to take over the semifinals and propel their team into the finals. So that was awesome. Also, Blue Sombrero won with Rockin' Nishu in the first lobby of the B split. And who does that?
Literally the first Rockin' Nishu win I've ever seen.
But I did that game too.
That sounds awesome. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Way to go, Blue.
The
Also
hero.
interesting to note since you brought
Oh, you
up
were playing
Diamond
Rocket Issue.
and
That's right,
I
Diamond. You did.
was. Rocket
Yeah.
Issue
oh yeah,
won
wow,
Beast
that's
Boy.
extra crazy.
Yeah.
But you brought
I
up
forgot your
Diamond
hero.
and Ted getting first places. Weirdly enough, they also got sixth in their other game. Each of them.
Oh.
Is this some new strat, guys? Diamond, what's going on
Me
with the
and
first and
Ted,
sixth?
we Snapchat every day and we talk about random stuff. Connection's just there with us.
Oh,
I know
nice.
today there's juniors hockey for Canada and US, so I think that helped as well because hockey rivalry, of course.
True.
Makes
True.
sense.
Awesome.
Canada's gonna take the gold, but that's none of my business.
A
So back to BGs, of course, we have some
Yeah.
really interesting then upsets here. We've still got Bob's Bounty Hunters and Concede Your Match waiting in the wings, who are the just like unbelievably strong, dominant teams and odds-on favorites to take it down. Tuna, based on what you saw, is there any chance for these dark horse teams to overcome it, or is it just always going to be Bob's Bounty Hunters? I know they covered
I'm-
it slightly on Around the
Oh
Saloon.
man, I don't know. It's Bob's Bounty Hunters like absolutely dominated. Like I don't know across all of THL if a team has ever dominated as hard as in a series as Bob's Bounty Hunters did this season. Like their whole team is like in the top like 10 or like 15 players of points on one team. Like
Yep.
just so that entire team has just dominated every lobby. I've gone back and looked. They have so many first places, second places, third places. Like they put a whole lot of teams to shame in just the regular season. And honestly, I expect them to continue that with this upcoming 2 weeks worth of finals. So it's gonna be tough, but you know, I mean, as I said earlier, with Diamond and Ted high rolling some 10%ers, that's probably what they're gonna have to do here for these other teams to sneak in here and beat Bob's Bounty Hunters.
Hey, it can happen. So stay tuned, THL. Obviously, you will see a whole lot of it in the weeks to come, and I'm excited to see what happens. Any last things on Battlegrounds before we move on to our Wild series?
instead of 2v2v2v2, it could just be 2v6. Easy.
Everyone against Bob's Bounty Hunters.
Yes.
Nice. Maybe even the playing field a little bit. All right, but we will jump into the Wild meta report, and this is brand new for you this week. We finally had the Wild series start and get underway, and we see here the most popular lineup. Also, one of the few that actually had a positive win rate, and the only one that had a positive win rate and game win rate. Mage, Priest, Warlock, Warrior brought 11 times and just crazy dominant. I don't play nearly enough Wild, but I know you're participating in the series, Itachi. Talk to me a little bit about this meta report. What are we looking at here?
I mean, you're kind of just looking at the state of Wild right now. It's just 3 decks, and then figure it out from there. Mage, Secret Mage, Reno Priest, and Dark Glare Warlock, essentially. And then
Yep.
your last deck is just kind of hope you can get a win. It's up in the air. Warrior seems to be the most popular because Pirate Warrior had a pretty big resurgence in the Dark Moon Fair meta. Also, Odd Paladin had a pretty big resurgence. I'm surprised that's not the second most played lineup. But it is the second highest win rate lineup. You play your Mage, Priest, Warlock, and then you throw in Paladin for the fourth. So that's pretty much just the state of the game right now. You play those 3 decks and you play a fourth, and good luck.
Yeah.
Fair
One
enough.
thing to consider as well is that Warlock has 2 viable archetypes depending on the lineup you're playing. So it has Dark Lair Warlock, but it also has Discard Warlock. Discard Warlock is the more aggressive of the 2. Dark Lair Warlock is sometimes aggressive depending on if you draw your Molten Giants or not. But yeah, so it has a little bit of
well, you can't forget about Highlander Lock.
flexibility.
All right,
as well.
so
I'm
Yeah,
just
Highlander
gonna-
Warlock.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this in here because you said that Dark Glare Warlock was kind of aggressive. In my match specifically, I had about 50-50 worth of stats on turn 3. So
Yeah,
if that's not
that would be one of those aggressive games.
That's
That would be one of those aggressive games.
Yeah, but to be
Wow.
fair, Tachi, you know that's the high roll of the deck. The deck usually does that on like turn 5 type deal.
between turns 3 and 5, there's like a
Yeah.
lot of stats on the board and a lot that you can't really do about it. So I don't know. It's pretty tough to see
It
that
is.
deck sticking around permanently.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Kinda
I also like
gross.
Warrior for Wild this season is going to be nuts too. We saw there's honestly a lot of different archetypes of warrior in Wild as well. There's the Pirate Warrior, there's Bomb Warrior, there's even
Odd
ETC Warrior and Odd Warrior. So Warrior in Wild is kind of doing the same thing as in Standard. There's a ton of different archetypes, and a lot of them are very viable in certain lineups. So
Yeah.
um, so
And
that's going to be something to see as well going forward, to see what kind of Warrior lineups are still doing extremely well.
a good point to mention too, when you look at this meta report, this is always just the meta report from THL in whatever data we have to pull from the week that was THL. And as the seasons go along, we'll have more overall data for you. But this is just a small little meta snapshot that shows you like the top 5 lineups. So there's a whole lot more lineups that get brought, and just varying frequency. Like some of them are just there's 7 or 8 different ones that only one person brought or something. But it does seem to be kind of a consensus right now. You're pretty much banning either priest or mage. So all you
Yeah.
wild players out there, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in you for bringing mage. Not mage,
You want to
sorry,
know? You
for
want to
bringing
know?
priest so much,
Priest?
but I
I
am
mean,
proud
Priest
of you
is
for banning priest so much. So solid.
for those non-wild players out there. Let me tell you why Mage is busted. Because you go turn 1, Cabal Lackey, and then you play Rig Fair Game,
Yep.
and then you draw 4 cards on turn 2.
Dirty.
Yep.
Assuming you're not playing against a deck like a fellow mage or something like that
That would
really
just
can't
coin
ping
ping,
you
but like
or do
yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
You build so much resources.
you build so much
It's-
resources,
Yeah.
and Priest will always be on top of this lineup and always be like high ban rates as long as Reno Priest has Reno or has a oh man, I forgot the 5-mana card. Raza and Anduin. As long as those 2
Uh,
cards remain untouched, that deck's gonna remain a thing forever.
The unnerf of Raza made the deck viable again.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. So
So I see
we
Rice
will.
Bowl in chat. I apologize for what happened today. That was ridiculous.
So we will move on to the Green Conference. Let's look at a couple of the matches that we highlighted from the week. To start off, this is your first week of the Wild Green Conference, and we have 3 teams that are currently showing at the top of the standings. The reason we don't have F2L's logo up there is because they've actually already played a match for this week. So technically, they had 19 points at the end of last week, where everyone's a winner, and Made in Heaven actually ended with 23-point weeks. So we've got their logos right there at the top left, and we'll start with everyone's a winner versus Wild THL Fanatics. Oh my God,
This
20 to
Well,
2.
There were
Yeah.
some winners, not WTF.
this was nuts because WTF was like a huge favorite walking into this season. Like everyone was like, oh yeah, WTF, like, because you just look at these names of Mike Lowe, Unlimited Power, Draco Cat, Electric Sleep Shitty, Dr. Bomb D. Like these are all super, super solid wild players. And everyone's a winner came in and said, oh, this is your THL favorite? Yeah, hold my beer a second. And just gave them an absolute run for their money. 4 sweeps. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
that's
dirty.
absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just everyone's a winner putting THL on notice right now, because Wild THL Fanatics, WTF was a team that actually made the championship game 2 seasons ago, filled with really strong players. I don't think that this by any means suggests that they're not going to be competitive this season. I'm sure they'll have a bounce back week very soon, but it definitely, announces with like blaring trumpets, hey, everyone's a winner is a team to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, winning 5 matches in a week, regardless of what the scoreline is always ridiculous. And the fact that 4 sweeps are involved in that, look out, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
this-
And then the next match. Oh, go ahead, Tuna.
I was just gonna say this is Conquest format for those who don't know as well. So
Absolutely.
it's not
Yeah.
like one
Wild
deck
is
everything.
Wild is basically pro.
Mhm.
For
Wild.
the THL series, it's open list, it's conquest, but of
No
course
PR.
you can play any card.
Yep.
Hall of Fame cards, rotated cards from the very beginning of Hearthstone. It's all fair game. And now we move on to the next match here that we're highlighting. Patches Payback versus Hair Club. Much, much closer. Itachi, tell me a little bit about this one here. What went down in this 15 to 12?
Yeah, so we got a close match as opposed to everyone's a winner versus Wild THL Fanatics. Patches Payback took the 15-12 with Sir Los, Tony Montana, and BrushyTuna, Y, taking victories over their
Nice.
respective opponents. Um, BrushyTuna beating up on somebody that looks like they played their first week this week. Oh, this was their first week. Hair Club's first week period. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
This weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah, BrushyTuna bullying. And then Lefty and Dirty Mike took L's to Keith Numbers and Burnt, which I'm not familiar with Burnt, but I do know I've seen Keith Numbers before. So yeah, pretty close match. I see some people that did not bring optimal lineups on Hair Club. I see a lot of Druids. I see a lot of Rogues, and the lack of Warrior on Hair Club looks
What's
like
wrong with Druid?
it posed a little bit of trouble. You won with Druid because your opponent also brought Druid. If they had brought a real lineup,
I beat Priest with it. I comboed Priest on turn 6.
So the druids that you're going to see in Wild right now are the Malagos Druid list and
Mhm.
the Linecracker Druid list. Some people still swear by as well. But the Malagos Druid list is the most popular for sure.
yeah, they got to stop that. It's not gonna work.
One thing about that,
It
not gonna
always
work.
Oh,
works.
I mean,
man.
we're in the same conference. We'll
The
see.
hot
one-
takes. I'm
We're one
excited.
dirty
I'm
rat away
excited
from
for
losing.
Patches Payback
That's fine.
versus F2L.
He did dirty rat me. He took my Satravar and I still killed him turn 6.
Something went wrong.
Spicy.
Brand dirty rat, dirty rat.
But Green
Good job, though.
Conference,
Good job.
we see some front runners, of course. Everyone's a
Yeah.
winner. F2L Viridian, Made in Heaven, really strong starts. Patches Payback grabbing a very good victory here. And Entertainers and Wild THL Fanatics, they are going to have their work cut out for them already, but it's a long season. Anything can happen. Anything else we want to say about Green Conference before we move on to Brown?
Yeah, rip Patches Payback. That's bulletin board material.
All right.
Target Druid.
Nice.
That's fine.
I hope you guys wind up in the same seed at some point for your
Me
match.
too.
So we
Oh,
can
we're
get
going
that
to
on
stream
stream.
it. If we do,
Yeah,
we're streaming
for sure.
100%.
All right, so we're gonna switch on over to Brown then, and this really surprised me. Seas of Cheese has been mostly known as like kind of a meme team for the past couple Wild seasons.
That's because Sage was there.
True. You're not wrong. Um, but like this team, I haven't seen them really be hyper competitive for playoffs in any season, but they start off with a bang in Brown. Lemur, walk me through Seas of Cheese versus Mad Scientist. We got a 20-7 here. What happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will say we didn't quite get the 20-2 that they did in the previous conference, but we did put out a very, very strong performance, winning all 5 matches this week into the Mad Scientists. We were very, very ready for this this week. If you look at our lineups, a lot of them are pretty close to the Mage, Paladin, Priest, Warlock, or the a couple shamans were in there as well, except for Scritch, who brought Druid as well, which I know Itachi will hate. However,
Mhm.
we were pretty prepared. We were all talking. We were super ready to go into the week, and it ended up paying off, getting us the 20-7 victory. Hats off to Mad Scientist. I do not think that they played badly. I think that we were just very, very prepared.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows. You literally can't do better than a 23-point week to start off. So
Mhm.
excited to
For
see
being
if Seas of
sprinkled
Cheese
shine,
can keep
absolutely.
this up.
I think we can. Watch out for us this season.
Nice. And Diamond, you know I had to come to you to talk about Hey Loser versus Ghosts of Fellscream's Past. It's one of my favorite logos that I've seen you design for Hey Loser. And tell me a little bit about this match. What happened in this 14-10?
For sure, for sure. Shout out to also to Clarity for help on that logo. He helped me.
Nice.
Oh, he got the -1 part. I couldn't do that, but he was good Photoshop. Anyways, we have Memnarch, Wild host from last season. He got 3-1 over Tito Santana. Rami, you may know him from a little thing called Hearthstone Grandmasters, kind of an elite little club they got going on there. You'll have Clone, the guy who's always streaming and self promotion. You won as well. Skittles, close match against podcaster Nate Wolf, TCG. And Ron, it looks like you're in the Wild series. You're doppelganger, maybe? You got swept though against a wild card, so I don't know.
Ronnie.
Yeah, he takes
Right.
after me. What can I say?
It's just like the Diamond Club last season,
Ronnie
Ron.
out here getting beat. It's okay, Ronnie. Keep your head up. One of these days, we'll get him.
To be fair, he got beat by a wild card, and you can
That-
never account for
Yeah,
wild
You
cards.
never
Yeah,
account
yeah.
for them. They're so good.
Ooh.
It's Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia cutting the brakes. What can you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. This is a pretty exciting match, a pretty close one. Puts THLeumer kind of pretty close to the top for Brown Conference. We don't have the chance, obviously, with how many things we have to cover to go over every single match, but a Noyo team also starting out with a very strong victory and picking up 20 points for themselves to be right up at the top in contention. Bash Bros 2 Electric Boogaloo had a pretty close loss. Obviously, we see Ghosts of Fellscream's Past on screen, as well as Mad Scientists. And let's not forget the one of the best self-promotion plugs I've ever seen, twitch.tv/MTG Succulent. Not picking up a whole lot of points right now in week 1, but long season, plenty of time, and maybe they can work their way up to the top and get more clicks. We'll see.
It's just a long con to get more subs and followers on his
Yeah,
Twitch.
I'm absolutely convinced that they're making finals, and he's gonna be on stream, but he's gonna refuse to do it on the THL stream.
Only on his stream.
Yeah,
Love THL host him.
Genius. But that will recap everything we have for you for the Wild series so far as of our first week of play. Any other things we want to say about Wild, either brown or back to green, before we move on? Also, let me preempt Itachi calling out F2L to win. Anything besides that?
No, wasn't gonna say that at all. I was gonna say, however, it's I see the two demon hunters, two of the only demon hunters that were brought in week 1 played each other, so that was pretty interesting.
Huh,
We
go
will
figure.
see how week 2 stats play out. I myself brought demon hunter, so that worked out well.
Nice.
Maybe it's something to look out for.
You never know. I assume probably odd demon hunter, but
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. There's one demon hunter in Wild right now.
Yeah, it seemed crazy to not be Demon Hunter. That hero power seems just completely broken, but it kind of washed up a little bit after nerfs. Maybe it's on the rise again. We'll see in the weeks to come. All right, and before we dive into our legacy meta report, as always, THL, we've got a little bit of promotion for ourselves that we want to do. We really appreciate all you guys tuning into the stream, and I got a little rapid fire ad to go through before we jump into the next. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Hey there, Twitch viewers. Have you subscribed to Team Hearth Legends yet? No? Then make today the day to be a legend yourself and subscribe to our channel. This subscription will enable the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website, as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can actually subscribe to our channel for free. Subscribers get a THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat badge. So hit that heart button and keep the notifications on to make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest, our website, teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord, Team Hearth Legends. Check out the THL POW podcast for power rankings for all series wherever you find your podcasts. The true Hearth Legends himself, Saku, continues to post all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Just search Team Hearth Legends to catch everything previously recorded. You're, of course, watching us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Team Hearth Legends, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. For all you THL fanatics out there, we have THL shows every single day of the week. You can't go Ron Cooning in at any time for some amazing Hearthstone-related content. Now back to the good part.
Oh, that is
Everybody,
the good part,
real
Ron.
quick.
I'm
Real
telling
quick.
you, that has to be the good part.
Everybody
Ron.
give it up for Buster Ron. That was crazy.
What's the,
Just we out here doing ads. But that is, please consider subscribing. Really, we appreciate every little thing. Even throwing some bits our way, it's always appreciated. Helps us keep things going.
Well, here's the best thing about the money and the subs that you give to THL. THL doesn't use it for their own personal gain. We give it back to you, the viewers and the players of THL in the tournaments. All that money goes back to you guys. So the more you sub and the more bits you throw at us, the bigger the prize pools are for these off-season tournaments.
I don't believe it. It's all going into ridiculous.
No, it has to be true when even I agree with Tuna.
Yeah, true. If Ron agrees
hey,
with me,
Itachi
then
throwing
true.
out some cheers there. Nice.
Hey,
Basically,
That's
the
the
more
raw,
money you put in
OP.
now, then you can win it back later.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
like
Save
it's
your
like
own
investing.
money.
Invested yourself, yeah.
Nice. But with that said, we will jump on over to the Legacy series. We've got a Legacy Week 2 meta report here for you.
Week 2.
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to start off with 30 brings for Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior. Oh my
30
God.
brings.
I mean,
It
people
went
really
five.
love this lineup, apparently. It didn't even do that great. It went 15 and 15. You know, it's just kind of middle of the road. 60 game wins, 56 game losses, 51.72. I mean, sure, it's fine, I guess. But people seem to really love it. Break it down for me, Tuna. Why are people bringing this lineup?
All right, because it has the 3 best classes in standard Hearthstone right now: Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, and then Paladin is just Paladin's just there because Paladin can sometimes do some wacky things with pen flingers and be able to keep up with the boards of Rogue and Shaman. They just have the answers to it with the Libra of Justice and Lord Baroff, so they just somewhat have the best chances to try to deal with those Shaman boards consistently and be able to like re-aggro them down. And same thing with the Rogue matchup. So that's honestly why I think we're seeing a lot of Paladin as the 4th deck here in Legacy
Yeah, makes
as a way to
sense.
beat
We are
Shaman or
seeing
Rogue.
a ton of Rogue, Shaman, Warrior. 4 out of the top 5 listed here all have Rogue, Shaman, Warrior in common, and only the bottom 5th one cut the Warrior out of that to sub in, interestingly
Where's
enough,
Santa?
Hunter.
Where's Santa?
Yeah, oh, he's
Oh,
right
there he is
there.
in
The
chat.
only lineup with Hunter went 80%.
Whoop.
Yup, that's right, Santa. And enemies that we're seeing of the meta, really still more of the same, like what we saw in Hero, right? 51 bans for Shaman, 39 bans for Rogue. We don't have a week 1 pre-nerf Demon Hunter to cloud our stats with the overall. There's only 8 Demon Hunter bans overall, and 104 for Shaman, 58 for Rogue. What's interesting, the Warrior bans really dropped. 43 total, but only 16 last week.
That's because they realized Shaman OP.
Yeah. I mean, I think Shaman and Rogue are like two kind of in a class by themselves. And then there's Warrior, which is really good, but not quite as good. And then everything else.
Yeah, I think that with Legacy specifically, you're going to see some people trying to target Shaman. And I think that people will get high rolled enough that that'll stop happening, in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah. Any other things about this meta report before we jump into our first conference to cover in Legacy, which is Gold? Sounds like a no. Let's jump on
Nope.
over.
Let's go.
All right, so we have a new leader in the Gold Conference. Last week, it was a shared tie for first place. I believe it was F2L Red and
Defias Brotherhood.
Defias was the other one, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And now Foolish Madmen taking a commanding lead. 41 points to lead off Gold Conference, and they're going to start us off with our first match highlight of the week from Gold. Diamond, I'm going to keep calling on you to talk about your team's winning. What's up, man? What happened?
We won. I'm very happy. Darner couldn't play this week, so I was like, "Hey, who should we bring on?" He's like, "Oh, how about top 10 legend Molstar?" And I was like, "Oh, cool." So
Smart.
Molstar came in and subbed in, and then everyone else just kind of won. I won as well, and I was the last one to play, so I was like, "We already won." But I was happy to get the win. Shoutouts to Kurt Finway. It was a close series. Also, our logo, we got that from we put all our tags in the Wu Tang name generator, and so in the server, all our usernames are that. That's just a fun fact about, and the name. It was just all our names in one row.
Well, go
Nice.
through it. Who's who?
Midnight Ninja's Dardar. Dynamic Demon is Justin. Respected Desperado is Automated Button. Respected Destroyer is Jimbo, and then I'm the Conqueror. And that's why
Of
in
course
THL
you,
it's
of course you
Diamond
got the Conqueror.
the
Nice.
22.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah.
Yeah, so got a little bit of extra incentive for all you THL players out there. If you want to have your team logo appear in the top left every week on this show, all you got to do is be the top point earner in your conference. Easy.
Yeah, no problems there. Should be easy for everyone, right?
Exactly.
Win
But yeah, just
finals.
a really big win for Foolish Madmen here over Stubbs Prey. Stubbs really struggling to start the season so far. Led by a good captain, full of good players. I'm sure they've got a lot of opportunity to bounce back and had a couple tough weeks. This next match was quite a bit closer. Seemed like it could have gone either way. Lemur, walk me through Golden Common BTW versus Pod People here.
Yeah, it was a really good match as well. Pod People obviously having been a staple in THL for years and years and years in the Legacy team, or rather in the Legacy series. So we had a 14-11 win, so very very close, which actually is going to swing in favor of Golden Commons. By the way, because I believe, if I'm correct, neither of these teams have had any sort of bye because it's Legacy series. So yeah, it's 2-0 Golden Common, by the way, 0-2 Pod People. Pod People are looking weaker than a lot of people projected at the beginning of the season, but still not down to the level of Stubbs of Prey this week.
Yeah. Also, gotta love it. Like Lolnenko is shouting out in chat here. Snake Fods, our resident 5 seed legacy player, also the winner of the community tournament. No big deal.
Yeah,
Still bringing
yeah.
Hunter, banning Hunter, and grabbing that 4-game win. What a legend, this guy. You love to see it.
I mean, that's the best you could ask for, right? Of your 5 seed is to win an entire tournament of like incredible players, and
Yeah.
then
Whoa,
No
whoa.
big deal.
The
Just
whole the
stomp
whole pool
everyone.
was not incredible players. RonMexico was in there.
oh right,
Why
right,
did
right.
I
I
invite
think
this guy? Remind me, somebody. But yeah, just a really good start, obviously, for Golden Common, hanging out just barely off of the first place. F2L Red also sitting pretty with 36 points, slightly behind Foolish Madmen. ATL also doing well in Legacy Series, 31 points through 2 weeks. Even at 1-1, that's a lot of points in their loss and victory. Defias was tied for first and has already dropped to 5th place now. Gonna be a crazy race in gold, it looks like. And then we've just got really strong teams throughout. Pod People already, third from the bottom here. Stubbs, as we mentioned, struggling, and Standard THL Degenerates still looking for their first win. Great name, though. I consider that already a win in my book. This should be an exciting race for gold and who can come out on top, but Foolish Madmen definitely setting the pace so far. Anything else we want to say about gold before we move on to red?
Not yet. Nope.
Sweet.
No.
All right. Tuna, I'm gonna let you talk about your favorite people here. Dirty Mike and the boys
Dirty Mike and the
is
boys.
just getting after it in red right now. They are leading the conference. Once again, we have a new leader. They overtook Swallows That Follows as
yeah.
the first place in red for this week,
Yep.
with a very close win over Chaos Theory. What happened here, Tuna?
Tony Montana was on fire over these 2 weeks on holiday break. I think he won all his matches and over some stiff competition, coming in beating Icicles here in Legacy. Astral Frog beating Image 10. Astral Frog just still doing disgusting Astral Frog things. I mean, that whole family is OP, Astral Frog and Based. So
Yep.
nothing really going on there. And Sir Los watched his replays, and he made some very tight plays against Risen there and was able to take that 3-2. Unfortunately, Argar and Lefty were not able to pick it up, but the 2 through 4 played very well, and they were able to bring Dirty Mike and the boys to the top of Red Conference. And Red Conference is, one of those conferences coming in that everyone's like, yo, this is the conference of death here for Legacy. So being on top this early is definitely nothing to shake your head out. So
Absolutely. And in our next match, another pretty close one. Murgle started off with some hype to begin the season and had a really rough week 1, but a big win in week 2 here. Itachi, walk me through oh my god. Murgle.
we're McGurgling, Ron.
We Murgling out here versus Ticketus Punctures. What happened in this game?
Yeah. So Murgle Reborn clearly took the 15-10 over Ticketus Punchers, which I'm not sure how they were rated at the beginning of the season, but if I'm correct, I don't think too many people had them very high.
They were like middle of the pack.
They were pretty middle of the pack, and so far they're performing on the lower end of the spectrum, but it's a long season. Adam took the loss, surprisingly. He is 0-2, and that's something that we wouldn't think we would see from the operating system itself. Also, Chewbacca, who is
Nice.
doing very well in other series, taking the loss and is now 0-2 as well. So, other than that, though, pretty strong performances. G-Kick with the 2-0 dabs and the dabs alts debs, both 1-1, as to be expected for clones. Other than that, though, looks like
Nice.
a pretty solid win for Murgle Reborn, sitting in the middle of the pack with 25 overall points.
Absolutely. Lemur, I decided to spare you a little bit and not go over Prep is for Rogues, taking down Swallows That Follows
Yeah,
here.
I appreciate
Sweep.
that. Don't worry. It wasn't a sweep. Calm down.
Yeah, well, I swept you.
You swept me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
The series.
Yeah,
was
overall the
close.
series was fairly close.
I don't give a shit about the rest of the series.
Tuna
cares about
only cares
you.
about Tuna. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Ron's on my team.
all I'm gonna say
I
is
care about one other player, and it's
we're
soccer.
still 3 points ahead, so we're fine
fair.
for now.
Absolutely, yeah. So Red also looking like a very close race here. We've got a lot of teams kind of crowding, not only in the middle series of points, but close to the top as well. Team. Now, I'm gonna wonder about this for a while until it gets illuminated for me. Team Tries, Team Triss, Team Trees. Any one of those maybe is a
I'm
viable
pretty sure it's
pronunciation.
tries.
I'm
pretty
saying
sure it's
Team
tried.
Tris because I think that's funny.
Team Triss.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, what we don't need to debate about is that they are undefeated and 1 point off of first place. So this is not a team I know a whole lot about, but definitely a team to keep tabs on as the season goes along. Swallows That Follows lost their first place spot, but still very close up there. Prep bouncing back from a rough week 1. Sir Finley's Squires, who beat up on Prep in week 1, having a rough week 2 for themselves. Chaos Theory and Ticketus Punchers, obviously, you see on the screen in close losses. And of course, long season, a lot of opportunity. But with a conference as stacked as this, you need to find wins fast. So it's one of those things where it kind of feels already like if you start off 0-3, you might be on the outside looking in before you even make it halfway through the season.
Yeah, Dear Evan Hansen is going to have some words with whoever's at the bottom of this conference because there's no way that they're getting back into it, in my opinion. The teams at the top are just a little bit too strong.
I understand.
There you go, Diamond.
Team Tries is Try Do Too, so it's probably Team Tries, but I'm gonna keep calling it Team Trust.
Fair. All right. And anything else on Red before we move on to Silver?
Murgle gained 18 points from Seffen. I don't know if we already covered that and said that, but like just to reiterate, they like expanded their points and they're in the middle now instead of dead last.
Yep. Big win for sure. Okay, so we will switch on over to Silver Conference. And once again, I found this very interesting. Hero kept all 3 of the leaders in each conference. And in Legacy, all 3 conferences have a new leader. And what we have right here is Hot Zilfs with a strong victory over a Noyo team, taking the top spot in the conference right here.
Boo.
I'm gonna have Tuna tell me a little bit about this match and focus specifically on the Donde part of this. What happened here in Hot Zilfs versus Noyo team?
Well,
Tuna?
for some reason, only 4 matches got played here for Hot Zilfs versus the Noya team. The 1, 2, 4, and 5 played. I don't know what happened in 3 seed. I can't see it. Coles beat 3-2 Inzi. Jamie's coming in with a huge 3-1 win over Nice Jewish Owl. That's incredible. Nice Jewish Owl has been doing nasty things on ladder, so it's huge for Jamie's coming to get there. Anfall falls short to Doin, but I mean, Doin shouldn't be a 4 seed, so I mean, arguably same for Anfall, but Doin's doing things. And then Jim Flows comes in and beats Tostina's Pizza Rolls. I gave him rolls at the end because I couldn't say without the rolls, but Jim Flows must have been a hungry kid because he knows how to take care of them Tostina pizzas.
Amazing. All right.
I don't know what
And,
happened to that 3 seed though. I don't see it.
and now we're gonna move on to Dad Legend versus Hearthstone Academy. This is a rematch of last season's Legacy Championship. Both teams wound up in the same conference against each other. Another close one. Lemur, talk to me about Dad Legend versus HSA. What went down?
Yeah, so there were 8 Paladin brings in this fantastic series right
That's
here.
a
which
lot
is,
of Paladin.
Yeah, just off the bat, super interesting to me that everyone was so on board with so many Paladin brings. But we did have Based and Ghost maintain their 2-0, and the rest of HSA maintain their 0-2, which is very unfortunate for HSA being such a lauded team that their bottom 3 have not been able to deliver 2 weeks in a row now, while their top 2 have been doing quite well. Hopefully they can turn it around, but Dad Legend will absolutely reap the benefits of that, winning in their bottom 3 that look very strong headed out into the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, the 3-4 punch of Dad Legend is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like your mom kid is like a 2 and a 1 seed in like every other series. Desharmo, the same thing, a 2 or a 1 seed in every other series. So it just feels bad to walk into Dad Legend as a 3 or 4 seed and you're like, oh, this is who I'm playing this week. Yay!
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, right, before your Mumkhead takes the 2 from Yellow Dart, but you still have to worry about Desharmo in one of these low seeds and Dart then moving down to possibly a 4. That seems unfair.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But also Desharmo clearly showing that he is the better board member by sweeping Mako.
There you go. Yeah, but on HSA side, a little bit rough start to the season, of course. The main thing this tells me, it's almost as if it was kind of unfair for Hearthstone Academy to squeeze in Duin into the 5 or possibly 4 last season, all season long. And they may be finally starting to pay for that a little bit by not having as much PR to work with anymore.
They're going down, so they're gonna bring him back again and then win again, try to win.
Smart.
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
sweeps, which is crazy, by the
But,
way. Like, especially in Legacy as well. Less likely to sweep.
Yeah, kind of nuts.
For sure. Yeah, it kind of just weird to see how many sweeps there were and how low the point totals across the board in this matchup were. Even being such a close matchup, there were a lot of not close games. But we've got, for the rest of Silver Conference here, Meme Dream Team was your number 1 last week. They only barely lost that spot, and they still had a strong week. They're still undefeated. They're 1 point off of first place. Flame Pimps taken another strong victory to open up their season 2-0. Obviously, you see Dad Legend here on the screen already. And then we have 0-2s, but these 0-2s are fighters. None of these teams have really been crowded out of gaining a lot of points. AFG, Amberflight Gaming with 24. Illidan's Death Knights with 22, HSA 21, and Anoyo Team 19. Really not bad, for having an 0-2 start. So if we start seeing some wins from any of these teams that are in the lower part of this conference right now, they could easily start to flip this whole scene around, and we might see a crazy playoff race as the season goes along.
Absolutely. It's so close currently in the top 4 that it just the only yeah, even with HSA being down second to last, like it's HSA. I'm never going to say that they're not going to make playoffs. I believe it can happen.
We will see. All right, and that wraps it up for Legacy. Any last things on this conference or otherwise for the Legacy series before we move on to our Pro meta report?
Let's get it, Pro.
All right, awesome. So switching on to Pro, and Itachi, I know you probably need to leave soon for us. If you're still here, can you tell me a little bit about this Pro meta to start off? We see a lot with Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, but not a great win rate. What's going on in the meta this last couple weeks?
Kind of the same thing as Legacy, honestly. You stick with Rogue, Shaman, Warrior. You throw your 4th in. It looks like a lot of people are choosing Paladin, and it's kind of not working out for them. Priest looking like a pretty good bring. Demon Hunter looking like a pretty good bring. If you look down there at the bottom, 4-0 in win rate. So I don't know. it's kind of up in the air. I think people are more expecting uh, the Rogue Shaman Warrior, and you can do more things against it in open list because you don't get to you don't have to speculate on what's going to happen after class submission. You submit your decks, and you assume that the other person is going to submit the best decks, which are Whirly Kick or Whirl Kick or Secret Rogue, and then Evolve Shaman. And you can do things with that information beforehand that you can't do in closed list series. So I could see why the lineup might take a few more losses than normal, but it's still really powerful, and I don't think that'll deter people too much from bringing it this coming week.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. One thing I find a lot more interesting in Pro compared to Legacy and just our other close this series, we actually see Paladin having so many more overall bans than we have in the other series. Rogue and Shaman, of course, still dominating in bans. 39 for Shaman, 24 for Rogue last week. Paladin, third most banned at 8. And Paladin also third most banned overall in Pro with 21 through 2 weeks. This crowded out Warrior actually. This is another one that did that. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
fix it. But Warrior
I mean,
actually,
Is it
that
your
might be part
love
of
for
it.
Hunter
Why
that
it's not
keeps
showing
you doing this? Why do you why are you like this? You keep knocking out Warrior.
up.
Is it a, is
Ron
it a
doesn't
It's
like
some
vendetta? What
Warrior.
it's
do
some
you got
weird
against
grudge
this?
I just picked up. I don't know.
Is it because they released the Garrosh Book of Heroes late? What's up?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's because on the website you have to scroll down a tick to capture the warrior.
You lazy bum. Oh my
And yeah, I actually didn't notice when I put it on here, and then I fixed it for some of them, but I didn't notice that I didn't fix it for Pro. So
Mhm.
yeah, we'll try to move in the warrior stats there. But other impressions before I actually get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
warrior
So
stats up.
yeah, the bans are gonna. I think. I mean, Rogue and Shaman are gonna lead the way of bans, but this should be the most diverse format for bans because since it is open decklist, you get to see the full 30 of what you're going to be playing against, and that allows you to better articulate your game plan and what you need to ban in order to get through these lineups here. So we'll see it as Rogue and Shaman still continue to take off on bans, but the ban diversity across the rest of the classes should start picking up here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, makes sense. And here, let's finally throw Warrior up on here. I guess we can put Warrior on the screen. That's fine.
And Mac is
And now it
clapping
makes
then.
so much more sense, right? Paladin is not the third most banned. Warrior is, and all is right with the world again.
Yes, that makes a lot more sense.
I was pretty confused. I was just looking at the meta report. I was like, huh. You'd think maybe there's another class that we're missing.
Nah.
But yeah,
If
Warrior
we're gonna
with
delete
18
something, we're deleting
bans
Priest.
last week, 29 total. My apologies, C-Mac. we got your class up there now. Not to worry. Anything else about the meta report though before we move on to the week that was Black Conference?
Don't think so.
Sweet. So let's throw Black Conference up on the screen here, and wow, Aeon just absolutely crushing it so far in what has been regarded as like the most difficult conference, full of crazy stacked teams. Did anybody truly see this coming? Diamond, talk to me about Aeon versus Cirque du Soul Fragment. This was actually a matchup between the two top teams after week one. These two teams were tied for first going into this, and Aeon still just massive victory. What's going on?
For sure. They brought in Donkey and it seems to be doing work. Mako got himself out and now they started winning. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but
Smart.
that's happening. So anyways, everyone in Aeon besides Risen lost. Risen though went 2-3 against Racy. I know Racy uploads those VODs in self-promotion. You can always check those out. But solid series overall. You have Donde and Donkey both getting sweeps, which is nice to see. And yeah, I don't know if it's the opponents because they are playing like Cirque du Soul Fragment was #1 team, but there are sneaky teams still in here. There's still Hype Horizon for the
That's not a
boys.
sneaky team.
I
That's
I mean,
the reigning
yeah, then, like
champs.
in the schedule, like it will sneak up on them and get them. But Aeon thinks they're gonna go 13-0. As I don't know if everyone saw the GIF in
No. They
GIF in Pro.
crash. The train crashes.
They crash
They-
in
Was that the
playoffs.
GIF?
That,
Yeah, that was the GIF.
that was the GIF.
that was the GIF.
Gotcha.
So Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. Also, Markshire didn't bring Shaman. Actually, there are a lot of not Shamans here. Markshire didn't bring Shaman, Donkey.
Yeah, Donkey didn't bring
and
Shaman Clone and
Easy
Easy
Clone.
Bake.
Imagine a series without Shaman. Couldn't be me in my matches.
For real.
That's pro series for you.
Yep. And then moving on to our other match, Swagoi Black versus Bad to the Bone. This was super close, and we've got one of our players of the week taking a victory in this match. Cookie Monster over, obviously, one of those that came very clutch. If any of these 2 through 4 seed matches went the other way, we'd have a different winner basically. But Tuna, talk to me about Swagoi versus Bad to the Bone. What happened here?
Da-na-na-na-na. I mean, we got player of the week here, Cookie Moins coming in with the 3-2 over, obviously, that we discussed earlier. Molstar coming in, doing what Molstar does, winning. Poor Lotus Knight had to take that loss there. Jared Pullet somehow beating the robot operating system himself and Adam in a 3-2 very close battle there. But Audrey Kills and Linthesis, didn't pull their weight, but it didn't matter because the rest of the team was able to get there. Losing to both subs, weirdly enough, for Bad to the Bone. All the actual players lost and the subs won. So kind of interesting to look at it in that aspect.
Yeah, that is funny. Maybe Bad to the Bone just needs to sub out the other 3.
Yeah.
Team of 5 subs for a week.
They have even
Genius.
more subs. They have 3 subs this week. But
I
that's
think
you'll
I
learn
think
more
that's
about
pulling
that
a
stuff.
Sage. Sage did that at one point just to do it, I think. All subs for 1 week.
Yeah.
I
I
believe that.
mean, it's like resting your players in a sport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to recap the rest of Black Conference, again, we have so many teams here, so it's very hard to go through all of them. But Aeon clearly in a dominant position with the most points. Hype Horizon are defending champions, barely behind them with a pretty strong victory over me and Tuna's team, the Unknown, who at this point I think we're really going to live up to our name this season and just be the Unknown, as Black Conference is filled with well-known, powerful teams.
Yeah.
For the boys, starting out very strong, 36 points there. Swagoi Red hanging on with a lot of points, even in a loss this week. Cirque to Soul Fragment, we see him on the screen here, losing their top spot, their shared top spot. Yasharaj Clown College doing okay. Swagoi Black picking up that big victory. And then, the teams at the bottom, Glockgora had like this so much hype going into this season. I think we can forgive them a little bit for that 7 points, though, because their first week loss was to Aeon, who's looking more and more like the real deal. And Glockgora had a bye this week. Unknown did have a bye last week, so our 0-1s aren't, maybe as bad as the point total might look right now. And Illini Esports looking up at the top of the mountain here at 0-2. These teams that don't have a win, they got to win fast because Black Conference is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aeon's thinking Black is free though.
Probably.
I mean, Aeon always chokes eventually, so we'll just wait for that.
Well, 44 points 2-0 until proven otherwise, I suppose.
They did this kind of last season and then choked at the end, so
Nice.
I'll just wait for it to happen again.
Due process. Smile.
All right. And anything else about Black before we move on to our final series, final conference to go over here for the night?
I
Don't
hope
think
Bad
so.
to the Bone wins soon for their own sakes, because this isn't like them to
Yeah.
be 0-2 and half the team's 0-2. And also, I think Illini Esports, they're all rookies into pro. I think I think this is the wrong season to be a rookie team in pro.
Yeah.
Maybe should have came a bit earlier. They're having a bit of a rude awakening right now.
All right.
So
So
things go
Bad to
better.
the Bone, you heard it from Diamond. Game recognized game, and right now you're looking a little unfamiliar. Let's move on.
I will
to-
say in defense of Lotus Knight,
Yeah.
he has a huge thing coming up this week with his
True.
profession.
Yeah. PhD
Yeah,
defense
so
and everything.
that's why
yeah.
he
I was
doesn't
gonna say,
keep
so
it
he
well.
might not be most invested in Hearthstone right now. and I don't blame him
Understandably
for it.
distracted. He also came down with COVID, so there was a
Yeah.
lot
Oh,
going on
yeah.
for Lotus. I
Yeah.
think he's doing a whole lot better. Well wishes to him, and obviously he's taken the week off this week from our crew. He'll be back next week and can tell us all about what's going on with Bad to the Bone, the PhD defense, and so on. Actually, I don't
Yeah.
know if necessarily he'll be back next week, but at least the week after.
But
The
yeah,
next
we'll
time
see
we
him at
see
some point.
Lotus, you'll learn all about his defense.
Yeah, Dr. Lotus Knight coming soon. All right, well, I'm getting kind of hungry to talk about Pink Conference because we've
Shut
got
up.
Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, of course.
Look at that high-res image. Wow.
It's incredible. I love this team name. They're destroying Pink right now. BrushyTuna, tell me about Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich against Sheepies. What's going on?
Well, one, they're delicious. Two, they have the sexiest man in THL on the team. Three,
Wait.
they absolutely dominated this. Outside of Wet Goose, the rest of the games, they just, 2 sweeps, a 3-1. The 3-2 with Mick and Azanix is pretty close, but, Myanodon coming up big after his week 1 loss here, getting this 3-0 sweep over. No, Myanodon's the sexiest man. Nope.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's Myanodon.
Have you heard his voice?
Yes.
I play League with him sometimes, and oh my god, him calling comms, best thing ever. Easy.
Well, I
Yeah.
played League with him. It didn't go well.
Nice.
But not much to say here. It looks like 2 Demon Hunter brings here came up huge for Popeye's chicken sandwich over Sheepies as well. So keep an eye out for DH. It looks like it's on the rise here. Got a win over for Sheepies as well. So we'll see. We'll see how DH goes in the future. But it looks like just a lot of mirror matches probably went the way of Popeye's chicken sandwich here. Not much more to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Lemur talked to me about Tap Washers versus F2L.
Yeah.
Not like too much of a blowout. They did get 18, but F2L picked up a lot more than Sheepies here. What went down?
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like Tap Washers kind of came to game this week, picking up multiple 3-2 victories. And like was said, winning those mirror matches is so important. But in the matches that they won 3-2, none of the lineups were completely mirrored, which is very impressive. Really good planning on the side of Tap Washers for those matches, I can only assume. And Heat Shock squads usually will do that. But we do see F2L also picking up the 11 points, like Ron, you just said, which will keep them in contention. However, F2L all around in every series had a rough week this week from what I saw, and I'm sure that all of them will bring it back in the weeks to come.
Yeah, our two-time pro champions F2L. They did take a loss here, but 31 points, nothing to sneeze at. They're easily in contention for Pink Conference. Rounding out Pink Conference, we've got Faction at 36, just barely behind Popeyes. We've got Tap Washers with 33. Due Process was sharing the #1 spot with Popeyes and got eclipsed a little bit in their loss, but still hanging out at a solid 33 points. NPH picking up a strong win, Corrupted Clown Fiesta and ATK Mode all at 26 points. And then bringing up the rear, Sheepies definitely did not want to have that 7-point week after a bye. In fairness, I mean, hey, I feel that pain. We did literally the same thing as the unknown,
Yep.
me and Tuna's team. We had a bye week
Yep.
1 and we played Hype Horizon week 2 and picked up 7.
And we
What can
cried.
you do? And then finally, of course, Sushi Rats, Point Locked and Loaded, 18 and 14 respectively. Not too bad yet, especially because Point Locked looks like they also had a bye here. So 14 points, barely off, picking up a solid early week. There's a lot of season left to play here, but it's crazy how many points have already been accumulated at the top. So, like Tuna was mentioned earlier in some of the other series, those bye weeks for the other teams that are leading are really important for the trailing teams to make up ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interestingly enough, the lower side of the bracket, discounting Point Locked and Loaded, you can even look at Sheepies this week because they only scored 7 points, and that's pretty low for a loss. The lower side of the bracket is full of teams that are new to THL for the most part. Attack Mode, Sushi Rats, Point Locked and Loaded, and Sheepies are all full of people who it is their first time playing in THL. So
Mhm.
that may be kind of the welcome committee saying, this wasn't as easy as you might have thought it would have been.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
It never is.
Yeah, gotta roll out the red carpet for our newcomers.
very
All right.
cordial welcome.
And that is all we have for you for Pro. Any last things to cover for Pro before we real quick jump into some highlights?
Just
One
ahead,
quick
Itachi.
thing.
Go for it.
Corrupted Clown Fiesta would be higher in the standings if I played instead of Tweeg last week as well.
Nice. I think that was a running joke when the season started too. How long is it going to take for Tweeg to drop out? And it turns out it was just 1 week. So whoever had the over
Yep.
on just 1 week, congratulations. You win the
You are the winner.
Go Figure prize. Now we will jump on back over to the caster screen. BrushyTuna, I know you had a few highlights to talk to us about, namely
I
from
did.
Battlegrounds. Take it away, bud.
Well, one was not Battlegrounds.
I'm not going to
But-
put that clip on screen, though. Your turn 4 kill, but go for it.
No, well, not my turn 4 kill. My turn 4 murder. I
Yeah,
died
yeah.
turn 4.
True.
But no, so this clip comes in from this past Sunday. 2 teammates were going up against each other in the top 3. It was 2 of them and then one member from another team, and they were attempting to form a tie on turn 13 or 14, just so they can secure the top 2, which doesn't always work out the way you think it does. And 90 or 80% win rates into a game is not good enough if your name is German Shep going against your teammate there, Diamond.
Nice. Yeah, let's see what happened. I'll put it on the screen.
75% chance for German Shep to win. So
Yep. It's going to be close. His hits are going pretty good for Diamond. I think they did this on purpose, but I think this might backfire.
cool.
Might backfire, he says.
Is Diamond going to 18%? Oh, I don't think they can hear it, Ron.
He is.
Maybe they can.
Mercy.
But it's
You
dead.
guys probably can't hear it,
12,
but
17.
the cast should be able to.
Kills German Chef.
75% chance
And
for German Shep.
There
to
we
win,
go.
so.
That's our highlight. Ridiculous victory there for Diamond.
Let's go,
Just,
Rakanishu.
what, 85% loss, and go
Yeah.
ahead and knock out your teammate. Good stuff.
That was not happy afterwards.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah.
dream. He's like, Diamond, we're getting 1 into this lobby, 1 into this lobby. It was 1-3. I'm like, oh, should we tie? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he did all the tying math. He told me what to do. I was like, okay, I've done it. And then he's like, oh, you're gonna lose. I was like, oh. And I looked back and I won. He's like, how did you win? That was a 3.5%.
Yeah, it's because his hits. I even said it in the clip. I was like, these hits are going extremely well for Diamond, and then that cleave came across and just murked 3 of his units at one time, and I was like, yeah, this is Diamond. So like,
That's
Yeah.
over.
it came down. It literally came down to that cleave positioning, and that was it. That changed the whole fight. It was
Yeah.
just that cleave.
Just nonsense. All right, and
gotta be
that's gonna
happy.
basically do it. We're running out of time on the show. I don't know. Do you think we have time for RNG card of the week? Do you want to go through it real quick, Tuna?
Speed
Yeah,
run.
speed run. Okay, so RNG card of the week is Faceless Tavern Goer. If you don't know who Faceless Tavern Goer is, it is tier 5 minion. It is no tribe. You can use it, battle cry, copy any minion in Bob's Tavern. And the past 2 weeks here for BGs, I really noticed a lot of the top 2 players, using it very well to get the triples that they needed late in the games. So you can't find that third Life Vein, you can't find the third Baron, you can't find the third Caligos. Faceless Tavern Goer is your triple into those big winning cards there into late games of BGs. So it wins our RNG card of the week because it is literally anything you want it to be. So
Awesome. I love the speed run. I'm so proud. And that is our show for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Final words. We'll start up again at the top with Diamond. Tuna, like we did last week, if you want to close with our upcoming announcements. If you stick
yeah.
around here soon, we also have an exciting match that we're going to be going over for you from the Hero Series right after this, which we'll have on delay. But starting, final words, Diamond, take it away.
Yeah, it was fun covering 2 weeks of matches. That was fun today. And also, I noticed that Tuna speedrunning, trying to follow you maybe in pursuit of your commercials are on. Watch
Yeah.
out for your spot. He might take it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
well, here's the
Uh-oh.
difference. I did that all off the dome, and Ron reads something. So
Whoa! I'm waiting for the memorization of the
Oh
thing,
man,
Ron.
now I gotta start
Go, go,
memorizing
Dennis.
it. Come on. All right.
I'm gonna listen to Eminem and pass both of you. So
Solid,
get there.
solid. Go ahead, Lemur. Any other words besides Eminem?
Yeah, I was very, very excited to be on the show today, coming back after our week break. It was super fun, and I think that everyone did a fantastic job on our show and all of the CHL content coming off of our break. Very excited that the series seemed to be going very smoothly without many issues. Keep it up, guys. Keep doing well, and we are very happy to have you keep coming back to the stream.
Absolutely. Yeah, just got to echo Lemur's words. Really happy to be back. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope so much that we have a better 2021 than 2020 was. But really
Listen, the
appreciate
name
all of you guys for tuning in, hanging out and watching us stream, giving us that support. And stay tuned for next week. We've got some more exciting recaps. We got a Battlegrounds playoff series to get into. Along with the rest of the series as they march along. I don't know if Itachi is still here with us, but if you are, got
Yep.
any final words, bud?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yep. Just in 2021, make sure you sow your wild THL Royal Oats. If you meet somebody on ladder that's super awesome, plays really well, add them after the game, invite them to THL, tell them to come have a good time. It's always nice to have new people. It's fantastic seeing all the new people that we've gotten in the past couple months, and the growth of the series is wonderful. So I appreciate all of you guys. I love the welcome that I always have in THL. So let's
Nice.
continue to bring that in.
Awesome. And Tuna, final words as well as
Yeah.
upcoming events.
I'll speed run this. So 2021 might not be as good as 2020 because the name of the year is literally 2021, as in WON. So might be a rough year. But anyways, for upcoming shows, we finally have our first Thursday night throwdown of a long time, and we got 2 matches for that: 8 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. We got a Wild Series match and a Legacy Series match. Friday night fights popping off again with the BG's finals. They're gotta also have a Hero Series match then, right before the BG's finals lobbies begin. Salty Saturday is still looking for matches, so please hit up Donde if you are looking to be on stream. Sunday Night Showdown, once again, will be BG's as well. They're looking for matches. Schoolstone, I believe, has a match on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern of Diamond versus Quaz. They are looking for Saturday matches as well, so if you want to be on stream, Saturday is the place to be. They are definitely hurting for some great old matches.
Nice.
Oh, and tomorrow is Tavern Talk, so make sure to come out and see Dr. Fish and the lawyer himself, J.R. Juggalo, bring you next week's predictions.
Yeah, there are gonna be some good guests
Awesome.
from what I've heard on the show as well. I was talking to Fish earlier; he's very excited. So
Fish
tune
is
in.
always excited.
Yeah.
I like
So
content.
I love Fish.
Fish is awesome, so stay tuned. Obviously, you will see some more great Hearthstone action tomorrow. And if you're hungry for some actual Hearthstone gameplay, we have Based Inc. versus Skittles in the Hero Series, a special Tuesday night bar fight coming back at you live in about, well, delayed live, but kind of live, in about 10 minutes from now. That is going to wrap up our show for tonight. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope you have a great night and a wonderful new year. Take care, everyone.
See you guys.
See y'all.